Welcome to the newest installment of the Untitled Film Nerd Project. My name is Philip, and joining me as always is Teacher.
Hello.
We march on with our 5th annual 31 Days of Horror, where we watch a different horror movie every single night in October. We're on October 21st, and our movie was The Lodgers. Before we get into it, spoiler warning now! If you want to avoid spoilers, skip ahead to the time code you see on the screen. So let's get right into the cast and crew rundown. This was directed by Brian O'Malley, and we know him from Let Us Pray.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
When I was doing the research, I was like, oh, I did the same thing. I was like, good work, sir, on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I recall both of us liking that. This was written by David Turpin, who is also the composer,
Interesting.
and this is the first thing he's written. Rachel was Charlotte Vega. She was in Rec 3, American Assassin, and she was born in Madrid, so she's been in quite a few Spanish TV shows. Edward, of course, was Bill Milner. We just saw him in Apostle. He's also been in Dunkirk and X-Men First Class. Sean, who was bugging the fucking shit out of me because I knew him.
Mm-hmm.
He is Eugene Simon. Anyone that's watched Game of Thrones would know him. He was Lancel Lannister. He's also been in Before I Sleep and a movie called Eden. Birmingham was David Bradley. We just saw him in Await Further Instructions. The Strain, he's been in Game of Thrones as Walder Frey, and he's in the Harry Potter series as Argus Filch. Desi, the bully, was Mo Dunford. He's been in the TV show Vikings. I think he's a regular on that show. He was in one episode of Game of Thrones, and he was a couple episodes of The Tudors. And that is cast and crew, unless you have anyone else to add.
Nope.
Okay, let's get into our initial thoughts. This basically was an adaptation of The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. That being said, though, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Oh, I actually kind of dug it. It's gothic as shit.
Uh-huh.
And it was an interesting, whatever kind of tale it was. It's like they weren't ghosts, they weren't monsters, they were somewhere in between. And the curse, I mean, it was a very interesting curse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though it's not a very practical curse, because it's like, yes, breathe for our immortality. Well, you ain't going to have a house soon, so
Yeah,
you
true.
need to come up with a new plan.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of dug it.
I expected you not to like it because nothing really happened. It was a slow build, and you've been less forgiving for movies like this already this month. I don't think the movie did a good job of unfolding the lore. I think is what bothers me. It seemed to trip up on itself quite a few times. Visually, it was fine. The cinematography wasn't mind-blowing, but it was nice. The house was as much of a character as it could have been. Edward was cast perfectly. Bill Milner just looked that part. Played it really well. Everyone did good, but I thought he stuck out after only seeing him for a little bit in Apostle. It was cool to see him actually, have something to run with in this movie. I can't put my finger on it. Just, I'm not saying it's crappy. I think it could have been done better. And I think the fault lies in the screenplay. I think this needed a co-writer. I think this movie needed 15 more minutes with more world building. Everything happened really fast. So I think we had 15 to 20 more minutes, if not a half an hour. This could have been a 2-hour movie, a 2-hour ghost story. And I think it would have had enough room to spread its wings to really kind of realize the potential of the story. I think it's what it is. I think it's just this had potential, but for me, it didn't realize it. It fell short of the mark. Yeah, that's where I'm at on that.
Oh, okay.
TJ once again goes missing. All right, want to get into our breakdowns?
Yes.
What was your favorite scene?
Favorite scene was probably when the lodgers finally came out from the cellar. Again, I really liked the design of them, and
they look like people covered in mud.
Yeah, I just liked how their exit played out.
Okay.
Yours?
I liked the part where Sean and Rachel were underwater, but they were kissing. And I thought it was it just looked really cool. But I also liked when Sean dove into the water to go after Rachel. And we realized that the house is merely like mirrored upside down through the hole in the floor. I thought that was pretty snazzy. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
So,
totally.
yeah, that's all I could really say. All right, if any, holy shit moment.
Probably just, it's not really much of a holy shit. Just the entire, I guess, ouch shit of Sean being pinned to the floor
Yeah,
and
yeah,
trying to,
yeah.
which I'm just kind of like, grin and bear it and just tear your hand
Yeah,
off
yeah.
through, you can live with a hole in your
You,
hand.
you're missing a leg, so I think you can do with a hole in your hand.
Yeah.
I guess if I had to pick, because I really don't have one. There was nothing that was really holy shit to me in this. I would either have to say it's towards the end when Sean is going to rescue Rachel in the water and they're surrounded by like their doppelgangers. Since, I mean, that's kind of what the curse is. They get to be immortal, but they have to like have sex with each other and then birth each other again. It's a really interesting curse.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give them that. Like, you can be immortal and you'll be born again, but you have to do it yourself. Very interesting. But you have to die so that you can live. Very interesting. I did like that part of it. But yeah, when they're all like naked around like the naked circle of them, I thought that was kind of like, whoa, I didn't expect that. I like the part where Edward is, I think he was confronting Birmingham, I think, but when he pops out, there's like, no, or it might have been his sister, when there like water comes out of his mouth. Because I thought he was dead the whole time. That's why he couldn't leave the house. That's why he couldn't. That's why he never changed his clothes. That's why he looked like sickly and pale. Like I said, he was cast perfectly. I thought he was dead, and I thought that's where they were going towards. Like when he saw his parents die, he killed himself too. We didn't really get that, but so maybe that part. But other than that, not really anything.
Okay.
Okay, if any, mediocre moment.
I have to go with probably, and again, I liked the movie, but probably, and this may touch upon to what your issue is, the ending, when Sean got taken below and she just swims up and swims out of the lake and then, packs up and leaves, it's kind of too easy.
Well, they took him instead of me. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I didn't like the ending at all.
Yeah.
I think maybe if the ending had been stronger, it might have left a better taste in my mouth. But yeah, my mediocre moments are, I thought the water people looked stupid. I didn't like them. But then again, I mean, we also disagreed on Our House. You like the smoke ghosts. I didn't. Especially with Malevolent. I hated those ghosts. At least those were the worst ghosts so far this month. But this was a close second. They were just people covered in water and mud. It just didn't do it for me. I wasn't scared at all. Another mediocre moment, as you said, the ending felt completely flat. This needed, like as said, 15 to 20 more minutes. You tack in 15 into the actual plot, 5 more on the end, make it make sense, and you've got me. Oh, and the inclusion of the bully character.
Yeah.
You could have taken him out of the movie and it wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah, I totally agree on that.
If you rerouted that storyline to something else in the movie to help it along, I would have liked it more. I think it ruined the pacing. And ultimately, I said it was pointless. So that's that. What was your LOL moment?
Oh, none.
Yeah, same. I don't have one either. So, all right. I do have shot of the movie, though, believe it or not. Shot of the movie. There was one shot that I thought was really pretty. When Sean dives into the water to go after Rachel, he stops swimming and he starts like hovering in the water. And just the lighting's perfect. He looks like super hot. And it was just a really pretty shot. So that is my shot of the movie. It's subdued, but I thought it was just lighting and the color tone was really cool. So I like that. All right. Anything else you'd like to add? You want to go to my notes?
Just a slight thing to add, and I'm not even sure if it is or not, but was that the house from Dark Song?
They filmed in an actual haunted place. They filmed at something called Loftus Hall in Ireland. So let me look up Dark Song and see if it was filmed there too. Which, by the way, listeners, Dark Song was actually pretty cool.
Yes.
I mean, it could have been, because it says a house in which the majority of the film takes place in was made up of 2 locations, a mansion in Ireland's countryside that was used for the exterior shots, and a townhouse in Dublin that was used for the interior shots.
Yeah, I think it's the exterior shots.
It might actually be then, yeah. I'll have to get back and look into that. Anything else?
Nope, that's
Okay.
it.
Phillips notes. Go back to page 1. I said that Tailored Films needs a new logo because it looks really generic and bad in the beginning.
I liked the lullaby that they would sing.
Yeah, because my next note is it had like dark, whimsical music. The music fit. It was well done. So the guy who wrote it also composed the music, did a good job. And then Mr. Bully, guys, is all, you brought your friends. And I'm like, so did you.
Yeah.
Your friends were standing right there, you fucking dick. Also, side note, the parents' bed looked fucking awesome.
Yes.
That was fucking cool. Edward captures that bird and says, you're safe now. I'm like, no, he's not. He was flying out free.
Yeah.
And you put him in a fucking cage.
I don't like bird cages.
This is when I started speculating, because I wrote, so Edward is dead? Question mark. Also drowned from seeing his parents. And then when they were sitting on the bed together, I'm just like, please don't kiss. Please don't kiss. Your brother and sister, not knowing what the curse was and all that weird shit. And then later on, Rachel says, I've drawn a bath. Edward says, for me as well. And she says, no, we're too old for that sort of thing now. I was like, ew. Then I was speculating again. I was like, is the brother a ghost? The sister might have a split personality. He never changed his clothes, was a huge red flag to me. Oh, and speaking of ghosts, I had no fucking idea what the ghosts were saying. When they were like, I'm like, what? I had no clue. And that's not even me being a dick. Usually I can pick up on that thing pretty well. I have no idea.
I forget what they were saying, but I had subtitles on, so
Oh, okay.
I think most of the time they were just simply either repeating stuff that either Rachel and Edward had said or repeating lines from the lullaby.
Okay.
But no exposition, I can tell you that.
Okay, cool. Sean goes on this weird date with Rachel, and it's kind of like, hi, this is our first date. I'll show you where my parents died. And oh, here's some of that too much information backstory for you. Oh, and by the way, show me your leg. That's a weird fucking first date. And then, because I didn't understand how the curse worked at first, because I was like, so they can't leave, but how do new marriages generations start? Then I wrote incest, question mark. But even then, I didn't realize that everyone had twins, because they themselves were being reborn. I got that now. Walter Frey's all like, you live in squalor. Well, it doesn't look like squalor to me.
Yeah.
It looked pretty fucking nice. And then there was that shot where when Walter Frey comes in, the brother legit looked undead. And I was like, you know what? Undead brother is kind of sexy. And then I wrote, what the fuck is wrong with me? I was like, why would that be sexy to me? I don't apologize for it, though. Another thing that bothered me was Rachel's dialogue. It was always like opposite. What's worse than hate? Love is worse than hate. Our curse is to die. No, our curse is to live. Like, stop saying the fucking opposite of everything what everybody says. Look, the sun's shining. No, it's the moon. Like, fuck off.
Well, I mean, Edward was just as bad, like his first lines at the beginning, where she's like, it's our birthday, we can celebrate. And he's like, what's there to celebrate?
Well, he was all like emo.
Yeah, super emo.
Yeah.
He could have started a band.
Yeah. And you wear the undead makeup, and hey, you know what? I'm on board. And then I was like, this is a weird incest family, because the ghosts are like, you will fuck each other or else. I was like, what? I didn't like, as I said, not only did I not like the ghost design, the people, they're just people. But then as they got to the top of the stairs, poof, they're gone.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Yeah, that was odd.
Yeah, where did you go? I didn't like her walking backwards into the square water hole. Thought that was dumb. She knows it's there. I think from the letter opener bit to the end, it's just what really just took me out of the movie. I didn't care for pretty much anything that happened, even though a shot of the movie's in there and I guess one of my favorite scenes of the naked people, the naked circle, but that's just by themselves. I said that they can hold their breaths for a really long time. Which actually was kind of cool. All three main actors were really good swimmers, so they all performed their own water stunts.
Oh, cool.
So that was them. And I thought, okay, fucking Rachel, you fucking dick. You could at least stayed with your brother till he died.
Yeah. Or, ended it.
Taking him outside.
Put him out of his misery.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, She was really fucking rude and mean and selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Might be another reason I didn't like this movie as much as I would have, because I didn't really like her character. You go ahead and die. I'm going to go ahead and take off.
Curse is broken. Bye.
Okay, thanks, bye. And then I thought, how are you going to explain this to the guy's parents? Or the mom, whatever, where her son is. Mm-hmm. Well, you see, he went to the water hole, and they took him instead of me. Okay, thanks, bye. And then the very end, I said, it's the Crow reborn. And those are all for my notes.
The Crow, 1920.
Yeah. the prequel to The Crow. Anything else you want to add, or you want to go to final thoughts?
Final thoughts is fun.
Final thoughts are... Would I recommend this? Yes. I'm not upset that I watched it. This movie had so much potential that it just did not realize, and that's what bugs me. This could have been really fucking cool. And instead it was like, okay, half a shrug. If you like ghost stories, check it out. If you like this kind of gothic, turn of the century, early 1900s kind of setting, check it out. But other movies have done both ghost stories and turn of the century stuff way better. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. This needed an extra screenwriter. Those are my final thoughts.
Mine is still, I would recommend this. Pretty much mimicking a lot of what you said, those that are fans of gothic horror movie. I would recommend ghost stories. I'd recommend fucked up Shakespearean relationships. I'd recommend.
Mm-hmm. True. If you like Poe's Fall of the House of Usher, check it out, because this is pretty much not an exact adaptation, but it's really fucking close.
Yeah. So, good movie.
All right, well, that takes care of final thoughts. But before we go, as it pertains to The Lodgers, what did we learn?
I learned that creepy incest story is still very kind of creepy, just mostly because of the incest. Ew.
I learned that apparently I have a fetish for undead cute boys. So I don't know. Do with that what you will. I don't know why. We're not gonna. I know Paige and Dr. Freud. I get it. Whatever.
Ugh, fuck Freud.
Yeah. Well. Let's not get into that. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. My psychosis is my own. Don't judge me. Well, that wraps up day 21. Thank you for listening. If you've seen The Lodgers, tell us what you thought of the movie in the comments below. Did you like it more like TJ did, or did you just think it was so-so like me? If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends or cool people who might dig the Vizcast. And please subscribe to the channel, including hitting that notification bell to stay up to date on the newest content. Speaking of, for day 22, we'll be watching the movie Welcome to Willits. This has been on our radar for a minute, and was one of the ones before, when we were compiling the list for October, prior to October. Our list is like, 60 movies? We have to, 60 to 70 movies that we have to choose from, not counting what might come out while October's going on. This is one of the ones I remember that you were excited to see, so we're finally going to get to it tomorrow.
Yay.
So until tomorrow, once again, my name is Philip.
And I'm TJ.
And we'll return then to talk about Welcome to Willits. Goodbye.
Bye.